कि एक राज्य का बजट, जो कि एक बहुत ही सेक्रोसेंट और सीक्रेट डॉक्यूमेंट होता है, वो डॉक्यूमेंट सदन के पटल पर रखने से पहले किसी को नहीं दिखाया जाता। सदन उसके ऊपर चर्चा करता है। छोटी से छोटी बात बजट की लीक ना हो जाए, इसकी पूरी कोशिश की जाती है। वो बजट क्यों केंद्र सरकार के बाबुओं के पास जाएगा? क्यों केंद्र सरकार के कोई बाबू उसके ऊपर तय करेंगे कि ये बजट सही है नहीं है? क्या केंद्र सरकार के एमएचए के बाबू दिल्ली की चुनी हुई सरकार से ऊपर है कि वो बताएंगे केंद्र की तरफ से दिल्ली की चुनी हुई सरकार को और दिल्ली के चुने हुए विधानसभा को कि ये सही है, ये गलत है? ये कैसे हो सकता है? ये तो गलत है। ये संवैधानिक व्यवस्था हो ही नहीं सकती। ये किसी भी प्रजातांत्रिक मापदंडों के ऊपर सही नहीं उठ सकता, सही नहीं है, खरा नहीं है। आप इस पर चर्चा कर लीजिए कि केंद्र सरकार का कोई बाबू बताएगा दिल्ली की चुनी हुई विधानसभा को कि आपका बजट क्या होना चाहिए। ये कैसे संभव है? एक अप्रजातांत्रिक और एक असंवैधानिक व्यवस्था दिल्ली के ऊपर थोपी जा रही है, जो कि गैर कानूनी है और गैर संवैधानिक है। कहा जा रहा है और झूठ कहा जा रहा है, झूठ बार बार कहा जा रहा है कि साहब कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर ज्यादा कम है, एडवर्टाइजमेंट का बजट ज्यादा है। कमाल है, आप इतनी बड़ा झूठ कैसे बोल सकते हैं? 20,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा का कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है दिल्ली के बजट में, और जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट का बजट है वो पिछले साल भी उतना ही था जो इतने साल है, करीब 500 करोड़ रुपए है। मैं जानना चाहूंगा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को, और मैं चैलेंज करना चाहूंगा उनको, आइए मैदान में, पूरी दिल्ली घूम के देख लीजिए आप, दिल्ली के अखबार निकाल के देख लीजिए आप। पूरी दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री योगी जी, हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री खट्टर जी, कभी उत्तराखंड के मुख्यमंत्री धामी जी, कभी मध्य प्रदेश के भाजपा के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी, इनके होर्डिंग लगे हुए हैं पूरी दिल्ली में। हर बस स्टैंड पे इनके होर्डिंग लगे हुए हैं। और गुड़गांव के अंदर आप चले जाइए तो एक खंबा नहीं मिलेगा आपको, मेट्रो का एक खंबा जिसके ऊपर प्रधानमंत्री और खट्टर जी के होर्डिंग ना लगे हो। आप जाके देख लीजिए, आप जिधर नजर घुमाएंगे वहां पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मुख्यमंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री दोनों की तस्वीरें नजर आएंगी। आपको वो नजर नहीं आती, वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट। दिल्ली के अंदर क्या हक है उनको एडवर्टाइजमेंट देने का? वो तो यूपी और मध्य प्रदेश से भी दिल्ली में एडवर्टाइजमेंट करेंगे, और दिल्ली की सरकार एडवर्टाइजमेंट करे तो केंद्र सरकार का कोई बाबू बताएगा हमें कि हमको क्या हक है क्या हक नहीं है। ये गलत है और ये झूठ है, और ये बहुत शर्म की बात है कि केंद्र सरकार ऐसे झूठ जो है प्लांट कर रही है। ये नहीं करना चाहिए, ये बहुत शर्मनाक है।
Sir, has the budget been sent now to the MHA by the Chief Minister?
I have no knowledge about it. What I know is that yesterday night at around 9 p.m. it was sent by the Honorable CM to the Honorable LG.
Sort of there has been talks of the CM inviting Chief Ministers of non-Congress ruled states.
I have no idea about it.
सौरभ, ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि केजरीवाल सरकार ने पिछले 2 साल में जो प्रचार की जो राशि है उसको 2 गुना की है।
अभी तक तो कह रहे थे कि वो 1 साल में किया। मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूं, पिछले साल जितना था वो भी तो बजट केंद्र ने ही अप्रूव किया, वो बजट भी तो एलजी ने अप्रूव किया। इस साल भी उतना ही है। जो बार बार कहा जा रहा था कि बढ़ गया, कहां बढ़ गया? झूठ बोला जा रहा है। और कमाल की बात है कि एलजी दफ्तर से झूठ बोला जाता है और उसकी कोई जवाबदेही नहीं है। झूठ बोल देते हैं और फिर हंसने लगते हैं कि ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं।
जो आप कह रहे हैं कि फाइल भेजी गई कल रात को 9 बजे, तो अब ये माना जाए कि दिल्ली सरकार की तरफ से कोई और औपचारिकता नहीं करनी है, फाइल भेज दी गई है एलजी को।
दिल्ली सरकार की तरफ से 10 तारीख को सारी औपचारिकता पूरी हो चुकी थी। 10 तारीख को, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं बचा था। ये सारा का सारा जो षड्यंत्र है ये केंद्र सरकार रच रही है, और षड्यंत्रों की कोई सीमा कोई ना हो। फिर कोई नया षड्यंत्र रच सकता है। कल रात को 9 बजे मुख्यमंत्री जी ने भेज दिया।
लोग ये जरूर जानना चाहेंगे कि इसमें केंद्र सरकार का वो नहीं दिख रहा है, क्योंकि सीएस पे भी अगर आप आरोप लगा रहे हैं तो वो तो दिल्ली सरकार के ही सीएस हैं, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी फाइनेंस भी दिल्ली सरकार के ही हैं। यानी कि अगर कहीं गड़बड़ी हुई है तो दिल्ली सरकार में।
In fact, we have some news just coming in. Let's go straight to that. People from Kolar are protesting at Siddaramaiah's house, demanding that he contest from Kolar. And I can see Nagarjun Dwarkanath, my colleague, on our screens right now. Naga, quickly, what's happening?
At this point of time, protesters have come to Siddaramaiah's house. They're all followers of Siddaramaiah. Their demand is just one thing, that Siddaramaiah should contest from Kolar. If I ask my camera person to show you the visuals right now, Siddaramaiah is almost gehraud here. You can see the posters and the followers of Siddaramaiah here saying that you promised us that you will come to Kolar constituency, but now you have turned back because of the high command is what they're saying. You come to Kolar, we'll make sure that you will win with a 1 lakh margin is what they have said. Look at Siddaramaiah talking to all of them here. He's completely been gehraud in with the followers here. Their demand is Siddaramaiah should not go back. If you want to contest from 2 seats, you contest from 2 seats if you want, but don't back out from Kolar is what their demand is. This morning they have met him. They've all come from Kolar, which is the neighboring constituency, which is neighboring district from Bangalore's district as well. It is just around 70 kilometers away. Siddaramaiah had chosen this earlier a few months back, saying that he would be contesting depending on the approval from the High Command. But when the first list was to be announced and the screening committee meeting happened, Siddaramaiah's name was not to be announced in the first list. He himself said it that his name is not in the first list, and hence the followers of Siddaramaiah in Kolar realized it that he won't be contesting. You can see the postcards also that Kolara is our Uru, which is our town. Siddaramaiah is our man. So he should be contesting from Kolar, is what it says. In fact, another poster which says that we'll give blood for Siddaramaiah, but we'll not let him go away from Kolar. Let me continue to show the visuals where Siddaramaiah is talking to all his followers here. The demand is growing as time goes by. They are saying that around 10,000 people from Kolar are traveling towards Bangalore city to meet Siddaramaiah and take his demand that he should be contesting from the city of Kolar.
All right, so this is unprecedented, interesting, big war over Siddaramaiah's Kolar seat, contest from Kolar. Give us a sense of what Siddha is now telling all of those people there.
Well, he's saying that he's willing to contest from Kolar, but at the approval of High Command. Then the followers are saying that we will come to High Command, we will convince them, don't go by any surveys. You come to Kolar, we will make sure that 1 lakh vote lead that you will, in the margin that you will win, is what the followers also telling him. But Siddaramaiah, being a congressman, he's saying that I can't go against the High Command. Let me try taking up option number 2, which is contesting from both the seats, which is Varuna in Mysore district, which is his old constituency, and right now his son is a sitting MLA, and second is the Kolar city. Because remember, he had announced that he will contest from Kolar. The demand started from there, that he went onto the stage and said, I am the candidate for Kolar upon the approval of High Command. But now it seems like the High Command has said, Siddaramaiah, please go back to your old constituency. Considering this is your last election, don't take any risks. Let's go back to Varuna is what they have said. But once the news came out, once the news got leaked that Siddaramaiah's name will not be in the first list of the candidates, around 125 candidates will be announced tomorrow, Sneha. That's the Yugadi, New Year of Karnataka. Tomorrow, 125 candidates will be put out tomorrow by the Congress party, and Siddaramaiah's name unfortunately won't be in that list. That is when people from Kolar realize that Kolar city might have a different Congress candidate, and now they are saying anyone else apart from Siddaramaiah comes, we will not vote for them. If you come, we will make sure that we'll give our blood and sweat to make sure you win.
Very interesting developments, because Naga, what we're picking up is that the High Command essentially doesn't want Siddaramaiah to contest from Kolar. Are they really fearing defeat? What is it that they're thinking now?
Well, any new constituency for a former CM will be difficult because he'll be unaware of the land, the caste combinations, the local people, the booth level workers. It is much easier to contest from his hometown where he's already represented. He knows the people, he knows the land and language in and out. During his last elections, why waste energy or put in extra energy in Kolar city and not Varuna? Varuna is a much easier seat is what the Congress party leaders are saying, and hence their demand is come back to Varuna, the high command. But right now, the followers of Kolar are saying only if Siddaramaiah comes, there will be development in Kolar city, and hence the demand for Siddaramaiah to come. Remember, there's also social engineering done by the followers also. There are a lot of SC/STs, there are a lot of Kurubas, which Siddaramaiah belongs to the same community. Muslims are a sizable population, Vokkaligas are a sizable population, and hence the workers are saying we will make sure the social engineering is taken care of. Don't go by any surveys, don't go by any high command orders or diktats. Come to Kolar, we will make sure you win. Right now Siddaramaiah is speaking.
Well, interesting development there. What is Siddaramaiah telling the protesters, all of those people who want him to contest in Kolar? Okay. Nagarjun Dwarkanath getting asked all of those details. These are pictures coming in from Bengaluru where former Chief Minister seems to be pacifying supporters of him who want him to contest from Kolar. But it does appear that Siddaramaiah is not going to be able to do so, and that a safe seat is being suggested for the former Chief Minister. What is that safe seat? Is it going to be Varuna in Mysuru district? It does appear that Rahul Gandhi and Siddaramaiah have met, where it has been seen that or assessed that perhaps contesting from Kolar isn't going to be the best idea. He might just face defeat there. In fact, what we're also hearing is that there is a chance that at Kolar, if Siddaramaiah were to contest, then the JDS and BJP may have a secret pact to give him a tough fight. That is a possibility. Interesting developments where now people have descended at his house in Bengaluru, where Siddaramaiah is trying to pacify the workers of the Congress party. All of them want him to contest from Kolar. These are workers of the Congress party who want former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to contest from Kolar, but it does appear that the Congress High Command has made up its mind and decided not to allow Siddaramaiah to contest from Kolar, perceiving it as an unsafe seat for Siddaramaiah. House. These are workers of the Congress asking Siddaramaiah to contest from Kolar. It does appear that the Congress High Command has decided not to field Siddaramaiah from Kolar district. Fearing defeat, it appears the Congress top brass has asked former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to drop his plan to contest from the Kolar Assembly segment in the upcoming Assembly polls and suggested that he take a safe seat instead, perhaps Varuna in Mysuru. This after the Congress Central Election Committee met on Friday last. Congress top leader Rahul Gandhi had a meeting with Siddaramaiah in which they discussed that perhaps an internal survey is suggesting that Kolar may not just be the safest seat for Siddaramaiah and that he opt for a safe one. We'll continue to get you all the developments from the state of poll-bound Karnataka. For the moment, it's time for a quick break. You're getting you much more news in just a bit.
The pandemic has taught us how to socialize in intimate settings. people have started to realize now how homes need to be all-encompassing. Home offices for work, living areas, common areas, bedrooms, and to socialize, a good bar setup.
Always been entertainers at home. We always tell people, come over for a drink, come home, let's have dinner at home. So we're as a country, as a race, we like having people over more than what happens in the West. So it's ingrained in our culture. It's just that it has become more relevant now post-pandemic. People have now started realizing that if you are entertaining a guest at home, how can you enrich or elevate that experience for yourself and for your guest?
Bar designs have taken a leap of faith in recent years. Chic homes are now looking at specialized bar design creators. But what should a home bar really look like or consist of, or what is the starting point even?
In every home which doesn't have a functional home bar, you have to go to the kitchen. If you want to get ice, you go to the kitchen. You want to get a chilled tonic for your gin, you go to the kitchen. If you want to get glass, it's somewhere in the almirah in the kitchen. So it's going into the kitchen, but for a bar. So that was the common principle, and that sort of drove us to design these bars. And that's why you see how these bars are built and designed. They have everything encapsulated in the unit. There is nothing which you need which is not there. So you need a dedicated space in your bar for your wines, because we all know that you got to store wines at the right temperature. More and more people at home are making cocktails. It's no longer that you go to a fancy bar and have a great Negroni or a Manhattan or a Martini. You want to be able to make that at your own home, comfort of your own home.
How do you really choose a theme? Art Deco or eclectic chic? Minimalist or maximalist? How do you add the lighting? Should it be dim to create a lovely evening vibe? And most importantly, how does one show off those collectibles and barware and your collection of drinks?
What you need to do is to house these bottles. You need space, you need displays, you want to show off your collection to people. So we feel that a display cabinet is a trend which is really catching up in a home bar. It's like a fancy toy. You have guests over, you want to tell them, this is my latest malt collection, this is a gin I got from my travel abroad or to Goa, for example, and so on and so forth. So I feel that in the bar space, showing your alcohol or having a bar which allows you to show your alcohol is becoming more and more relevant in India.
In fact, using the right mirrors and textures or even plants or wall art around it can add a lot of character and make your house party look even more inviting and cozy. Finally, there's a trend towards creating a more sustainable, eco-friendly home bar, such as by using reclaimed wood for bar surfaces, using organic or locally sourced ingredients for cocktails, and incorporating energy-efficient appliances. This reflects a growing awareness of environmental issues and desire to make more responsible choices in daily life. Finally, drink responsibly to avoid going behind bars, quite literally.
BJP attack on Rahul Gandhi rages on. Mumbai's big leader jibe at Rahul Gandhi. Chief Minister says foul mouths India. How can Rahul save Karnataka? Tejasvi Surya also has criticized the Congress scheme for the youth. Surya says Rahul's big vision to destroy the youth of the country. Critical of Rahul Gandhi's statements outside of India, saying that he's been critical of Indian democracy. Tejasvi Surya has gone all guns blazing, and so has the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Basavaraj Bommai.
ಮಹಾನ್ ನಾಯಕರು ಈ ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಅಭಿಮಾನ ಇದ್ದವರು ಹೊರ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಈ ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೀಳುಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ನಾಡಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬದ್ಧತೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಜನರು ಮರಳು ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮರಳಾಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಿ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾನ್ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಹಾನ್ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಯೋಜನೆ ಏನು? ನೀವು ಪದವೀಧರರಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀವು ಪದವೀಧರರಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ITI ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾವು 1,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ. ಯುವಕರನ್ನ ವಿಕಾಸದ ಹಾದಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪದವೀಧರರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಪದವಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
We have more news coming in, and this has got to do with the kind of protests that have broken out in Bengaluru. This over, Siddaramaiah not contesting from Kolar. People from Kolar are protesting at his house, Siddaramaiah's house, demanding that he contest from Kolar. Siddaramaiah backers protest, seek his candidature from Kolar. Siddaramaiah is telling the protesters to in fact be patient about all of this. The High Command is of the opinion that the BJP and the JDS are going to try to tie me down in Kolar and I can't travel to campaign. Why risk such a situation? So I in fact have told the High Command to keep my seat pending. I'll talk to locals and come back is what Siddaramaiah has told the people of Kolar, the supporters who are protesting at his house right now as we speak. Siddaramaiah is telling the protesters that I can't contest from Kolar because these are my compulsions. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is with us from the location, getting us the very latest. What has Siddaramaiah told his supporters there, Naga?
Sneha, I'm taking you to the live visuals here. Completely packed Siddaramaiah's residence from Kolar locals. Right now you can see the posters of all Siddaramaiah supporters demanding for him to come contest from Kolar seat. Like I mentioned, he was addressing his followers as well. He was talking about how the High Command has not denied anything. The High Command has only an opinion that it's a high-risk seat because BJP and JDS will try to tie him down and make sure that he does not campaign in all 224 constituencies, and that's a loss for Congress is what they feel, because Siddaramaiah is a pan-Karnataka leader. The moment he is tied down to Kolar, it will be difficult for him to campaign, and that's the strategy for BJP and JDS. If he contests from Varuna constituency, his hometown, where he's a former MLA, it's much more easier is what Congress feels, and hence they said that why don't you reconsider going back to Varuna or any other constituency. But Siddaramaiah has told them that he has to speak to all the local leaders, he has to speak to the Karyakartas here, and then he will take a decision as to what needs to be done. So he has told Surjewala, Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge to keep his seat pending at this point of time and not take any decision. So the discussions are still on right now. As we speak, his followers are in his residence, completely gherawed him, saying that we will not go back till Siddaramaiah agrees to contest from Kolar city.
All right, I'm going to get, in fact, we'll be getting our viewers all of those details on what's really happening and the kind of unrest this decision by the Congress High Command is causing as far as the workers' demands are concerned. They've continued to protest at Siddaramaiah's house in Bengaluru. Naga, I'm going to thank you for the moment. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that. With that report from the city of Bengaluru, it's time for a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. We're getting you much more news in just 2 minutes.
We're here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and I have with me the OnePlus 11 concept phone. Now, it uses a new sort of tech. It's called active cryoflux. It's an active mechanism that is used in gaming PCs to actually liquid cool the phones. Your phones get hot when you're gaming, and that seems to be the future. Even with OnePlus's R&D team, they think a lot of the gaming that we are doing even in India is going to move to smartphones. And that's why you want your phone cooled and charging in record time. And if it looks good while all of that is happening, well then it's not bad news either, right? It's got this LED backlight over here, indicative of how the phone is using liquid cooling tech to ensure that the battery charges in record time and stays cool while you're playing the next Battle Royale game. You know when you end up watching a 3D movie and you have to put those glasses on, and a lot of people complain of a splitting headache. What if I told you that there's now the world's first eyewear-free 3D tablet technology? A company called ZTE is making this in China with Nubia. It's the ZTE Nubia Pad 3D, the world's first AI-powered eyewear-free 3D tablet. And I'll tell you how they do it. They do it using AI with these cameras. It's always good to cover good tech, and I think this is very interesting. I'll tell you how the output is. Well, the minute you put any content on this particular tablet, you hit play, and even if it's in 2D, and you take a normal file, hit 3D, it processes in a matter of seconds, and then you have, at this angle only, a fully 3D movie. How's it making it happen? Maybe you don't see it from this angle, but you see it from this angle, and that's your normal viewing angle with one face right here with facial recognition. These two cameras are making the magic happen, so to speak. They also have a similar light field technology at the back if you want to use this to shoot content. That same technology exists at the back as well. That's not just for videos like this. What if you want to shoot a 3D photo? Well, this is the world's first AI-powered 3D tablet, and you can do that as well. Go on the Leica cam, switch over the camera, and we'll show you me and my camera crew right here, and you can take a video or a 3D photo. Now, I don't know how much of it you can see, but it is quite fascinating that this sort of product is now here at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Also, although this is, well, a China product, it does ship globally. So come April, you'll be able to order this anywhere around the world. The world's first 3D eyewear-free tablet.
के 75 दिन हुए हैं। मैं उन 75 डेज की ही बात आज करना चाहता हूं। इन 75 दिनों में देश का ऐतिहासिक ग्रीन बजट आया। इन 75 दिनों में कर्नाटका के शिवमोगा में एयरपोर्ट का लोकार्पण हुआ। इन 75 दिनों में मुंबई में मेट्रो रेल का अगला फेज शुरू हुआ। इन 75 दिनों में देश में दुनिया का सबसे लंबा रिवर क्रूज चला। बेंगलुरु मैसूरू एक्सप्रेस वे शुरू हुआ। इन 75 दिनों में यूपी उत्तराखंड में रेल नेटवर्क के 100% इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन का काम पूरा हुआ। अब से कुछ घंटे पहले ही भारत बांग्लादेश गैस पाइपलाइन का लोकार्पण हुआ। ये 75 दिनों की ही इतनी लंबी लिस्ट है कि समय कम पड़ जाएगा। और मैं 75 दिन की कुछ बातें इसलिए दिखा रहा हूं कि यही इंडिया मूवमेंट का ही तो रिफ्लेक्शन है।
Some more news coming in, and we're staying with developments from Bengaluru. People from Kolar are protesting at Siddaramaiah's house, demanding that he contest from Kolar. Siddaramaiah backers protest, seek his candidature from Kolar. Siddaramaiah is telling the protesters that High Command is of an opinion that BJP and JDS are going to try to tie me down in Kolar, and then I'm not going to have the opportunity to campaign. Why is such a situation? So I have told the High Command, keep my seat pending. I'll talk to locals and come back. Listening to what Siddaramaiah is telling the protesters as we speak.
Sir, a lot of your followers have come here from Kolar. All your followers have come from Kolar, sir.
They have all come demanding me to contest. See, decision is not yet taken from so far as Kolar constituency is concerned. I left it to the High Command, and anyway, I told Ramesh Kumar and Najir and others that I will discuss with my family members and I will come out with the decision. That is what I...
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nagarjun Dwarkanath has more details on that big story that we are tracking. Is Kolar being seen as an unsafe seat for Siddaramaiah, Naga? Or has it just got to do with the fact that the Congress High Command feels that he's going to be tied down to Kolar and not being able to be campaigned then to do in different parts of Karnataka?
Well, there's no true one answer for why this decision for the Congress party right now. Siddaramaiah had announced that he would contest from the Kolar city, which is neighboring to Karnataka, neighboring to the Bangalore district. The main reason that he chose Kolar was that it is close by to Bangalore, that he can come to Vidhan Sabha quite often, he can go to his constituency quite often. Remember, the present constituency is Badami. He has to fly to Hubli, then drive from their car or take a chopper from here to Badami, and that becomes very difficult. He's also 76-year-old man right now, and that's why it was strategically chosen that any constituency which is close by to Bangalore city, option number one. Option number two would be the social engineering. A lot of OBCs should be there, a lot of minorities should be there, a lot of other castes that support him need to be there, and Kolar was chosen. And luckily for him, there was always a Congress weak candidate, and there was JDS seat. JDS MLA vacated that seat for him, saying that I will support Siddaramaiah, if he contests, I'll vacate my seat. This is the JDS sitting MLA who moved away from the JDS party and supported the Congress in the recent Rajya Sabha elections as well. And now Siddaramaiah had announced that he would contest from Kolar. But what happened during the screening committee meeting is that the High Command is of an opinion that JDS and BJP will make sure they will tie Siddaramaiah down in Kolar city, that he'll have to work 10 times harder to win the seat compared to his ex-seat, that is the Varuna seat in Mysore district, which is quite difficult. If Siddaramaiah has to campaign in all 224 constituencies, he has to be available. His dates have to be given to the party. If in Kolar, if he contests, he'll have to say work 4 days out of 7 in Kolar city campaigning for himself. That would be a big loss for the Congress party, is what the High Command is saying. Right. However, Siddaramaiah has said that he will speak to the High Command, keep it in pending abeyance right now, till I come back and tell you what my decision is. So, Siddaramaiah at this point of time has asked the High Command to keep his seat pending.
All right, we're just listening to what Siddaramaiah has told the supporters there who've gathered outside his house.
Sir, a lot of your followers have come here from Kolar. All your followers have come from Kolar, sir.
They have all come demanding me to contest. See, decision is not yet taken from so far as Kolar constituency is concerned. I left it to the High Command, and anyway, I told Ramesh Kumar and Najir and others that I will discuss with my family members and I will come out with the decision. That is what I...
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The story and much more going up on our website. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. News continues with me on the other side. Stay on.
After months of being the talk of the town, with ChatGPT, the Elon Musk found research body OpenAI is once again in the headlines with the launch of GPT-4. And though this does seem like a step towards a digitalized world and progress, it actually is causing fear and tension around the world. The parent company, OpenAI, itself has stated that the chatbot is capable of hallucinating facts and can make reasoning errors. And though both ChatGPT and GPT-4 have passed some of the toughest competitive exams in the world, they cannot process real-time information and keep up with current events. The information that is fed into these chatbots remains dated, as it was trained in 2021.
Artificial intelligence taking over jobs and eventually the human race has been a debate that's been going on since time immemorial. But clearly, this stands as a testament that AI is still not there yet. With AI making factual and reasoning errors, the question is, will it ever take over human jobs? Will it ever replace humans? Well, clearly the answer remains no.
I mean, I'm a little worried about the AI stuff. I think it's something, I don't know, which we should be concerned about. I don't know, I think we should need some kind of like regulatory authority or something that's overseeing AI development and just making sure that it's operating within the public interest. And, you know, it's quite a dangerous technology. And I fear I may have done some things to accelerate it.
Once a supporter of AI, Musk has now become rather cautious. In another tweet that showcased GPT's score on the SAT exams, Musk exclaimed that with rise of AI, there will be nothing left for humans. However, the IT industry has seemingly dismissed fears of an AI takeover.
It's very good. What it's going to do is it provides you a certain knowledge, and then you can show your creativity, your smartness, your innovation by operating in the next orbit.
Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Ekta Kapoor has done it. So has Rita Ora, Diana Hayden, and actor Mona Singh. The list is endless. Just so many women are freezing their eggs, postponing motherhood for various reasons: social, health, career, or personal. Social egg freezing has been lauded for its potential on the basis that it enables women to have it all, by allowing them to focus on their careers and have children later on. It truly is empowering women. And the trend is catching up. Gynecologists across the city have seen a rise in the number of inquiries for egg freezing, where a woman's eggs are extracted, frozen and stored. Later, whenever she plans to get pregnant, the eggs are thawed, fertilized and transferred to the uterus as embryos. So what exactly is this process? Egg retrieval is the process of removing eggs from your ovaries. During this process, you'll arrive at your doctor's office or clinic and an IV will be administered. This will allow them to provide general anesthesia for the procedure, since you'll be asleep during the process. During the egg retrieval, your doctor will use a transvaginal ultrasound probe with a needle, which is inserted in your follicles under ultrasound guidance. The fluid inside the follicles that contains the eggs is aspirated and collected into tubes, which are then given to an embryologist. The embryologist will then examine the follicular fluid and identify the eggs. The entire process takes roughly 10 to 20 minutes to complete. Once you wake up, your doctor will tell you how many eggs were retrieved. We also caught up with Mishwa, who says this is her right and there's no shame in freezing her eggs. After all, this is her body. Mishwa is still unmarried but took this decision at a very young age just to focus on her career. The flip side of egg freezing is the cost. The process of egg freezing is cheaper in India than in most other countries. In India, it costs approximately between 1,50,000 and 1,70,000. Costs may go up depending on the number of cycles needed and later embryo creation and implantation fee. A woman's fertility declines with age. That decline accelerates in her late 30s due to a sharp decrease in both quantity and quality of available eggs. To ensure healthy and viable eggs, some fertility experts suggest limiting elective egg freezing to women aged 38 and under. Companies like Google and Facebook are the first to encourage women for this process and on bearing the expenses for them too. Many ask if this is sending the wrong message, that work is more important than family. Whatever the case, it really is about a woman's choice at the end of the day.
You are watching India Today.
Hello there, very good morning. You're watching India Today TV. I'm Sneha. A quick check of the top stories in this edition first. Time running out for Khalistani thug as hunt for Amritpal intensifies. Amritpal's aide taken to Dibrugarh Central Jail. Internet slowly restored in Punjab. K Army heckles journalists covering Khalistani rampage in the UK. Cops remain mere spectator but remove journalists from the location. After Rahul alleges every institution compromised, BJP compares Rahul to Mir Jafar, calls him a traitor. Fresh flashpoint between Kejriwal and Centre. Centre questions up expenditure on ads. Arvind Kejriwal writes to the Prime Minister, urges him not to stall the budget. Big war over Sidda's Kolar safe seat. Siddaramaiah supporters seek his candidature. Siddaramaiah pacifies protesters, saying, "Don't fall for the BJP-JDS trap." A top story at this hour, Rahul Gandhi's renewed institutions under attack charge while addressing a rally in Wayanad, his parliamentary constituency. He reiterated that it is his duty to fight assault on democracy. His remarks come at a time when he is already under fire from the BJP over his remarks in London, with the party constantly seeking an apology from the Congress leader. More in this report.
माननीय सदस्य देश के बाहर जाके एक अपने पार्लियामेंट के बारे में ऐसे उल्टे सीधे बयान करे, शायद मोटिवेटेड है, ये भी एक शंका आती है.
Going straight to proceedings. Going straight to proceedings from the Upper House of Parliament.
Papers to be laid on the table. Rao Inderjit Singh ji.
Chairman, sir, I rise to lay on the table of the House the papers mentioned against my name at serial number 2A in today's revised list of business.
Siri V. Murli.
महोदय सर
छोड़ जाना चाहिए, ठीक है।
माननीय सदस्य, आप भी विराजिए, आप भी आसन पर जाइए। माननीय सदस्य, आप भी विराजिए, आप भी आसन पर जाइए।
Supriya Bhardwaj is getting us more details on that story. Supriya, the chair really unable to do anything. What sort of a conversation is it possible to have between the government and the opposition, who just seem to be functioning in the opposite direction?
Well, Sneha, as far as opposition is concerned, they yesterday said that it is the duty of the government, of the treasury benches, to ensure that the House runs peacefully. Yesterday, when former Parliamentary Affairs Minister Mr. Rajiv Shukla was speaking to us, he said very categorically that when he was in the ministry during the UPA times, they used to reach out to the opposition and look for a win-win kind of a situation where both the sides can keep their talking points on the table inside the Parliament. Now, what has happened is the BJP, as well as the government side, is saying that they have one particular thing, that is Rahul Gandhi has to come and apologize. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi as well as Congress party has sent a message loud and clear that nothing doing. They will be asking for... said that this is nothing short of a diversionary tactic. They are saying that Rahul Gandhi has been attacked because they are raising the issue of Adani Group, at the same time seeking a proper JPC. Now, this is what the entire opposition is also rallying around here. We have seen some of the opposition parties which were not very cozy with Congress party have also come out, and they are now saying that yes, they will be asking for a JPC probe as far as
Lok Sabha has been adjourned. So all right, that's the update that we're getting at this hour. As expected, ruckus in Parliament and the lower house has been adjourned till 2 p.m. But I'm wondering what's going to happen after 2. Anything different, Supriya, because this really continues day after day, week after week.
Well, yes, Neha, this is the same thing which is happening day after day, and we have been seeing as to how the business hasn't happened. From the day one when the Parliament's budget session second phase started, we have seen as to how first the Treasury benches were up in arms, saying that Rahul Gandhi's, what he has said in the UK, they were seeking an apology on that. Congress said that you are doing nothing, but you are just twisting his words. This is not the entire truth that you are telling. Rather, this is lies and nothing short of a diversionary tactic. Rahul Gandhi, on the other hand, came and said when he spoke to the media that whatever he wants to say, he will say it inside the House, and he has even written to the Lok Sabha Speaker saying that he wants to keep his side of the story as far as this entire the allegations which are being levelled against him. He even mentioned that there are 4 ministers who have actually levelled very serious allegations inside the House, so he has a right to reply. So this is what the opposition is also saying, particularly Congress party. They are saying that at least Rahul Gandhi should be given a chance to speak to keep his side of the story in the House itself. On the other hand, the Congress party was also up in arms as far as the entire Delhi police reaching Rahul Gandhi's residence is concerned, that issue is concerned. They have been saying that why so, and the entire Congress is together along with the opposition. They're saying this is nothing. They're targeting Rahul Gandhi because he has been raising the Adani Group issue from the front. They are also saying that because there is a demand for JPC, that's why the government is not letting the House to function. It's a very serious allegation which has been levelled by the opposition as on the government. We have to see as to how there will be a break-even point. But right now, it seems that daggers have been drawn and both the sides are sticking on their own points.
Well, clearly, daggers clearly have been drawn there. And Lok Sabha has been adjourned to tell our viewers once again. Dismal, really, as far as the behaviour of the MPs are concerned. Opposition also up in arms, demanding a joint parliamentary committee probe because there's been no consensus on how this should proceed. As of now, proceedings in Rajya Sabha is on, but the House has been adjourned in Lok Sabha. Really helpless, the chair. Also, in fact, not being able to intervene successfully. Mallikarjun Kharge, president of the Congress party, has spoken, and so has BJP spokesperson Shambit Patra. Listen in.
माननीय सदस्य आप भी विराजिए।
देखो ये माफी मांगने का तो सवाल नहीं है, बार बार वो पूछते रहेंगे, हम उसको नकारते रहेंगे, उसमें कोई माने नहीं है। ये होना बोल के इशू को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए कर रहे हैं।
बट हिंदुस्तान के एक साधारण जनता के रूप में ये आदेश देते हैं, ये डिमांड करते हैं कि यू हैव टू अपोलोजाइज, आपको माफ़ी मांगना ही चाहिए और मांगना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपने हिंदुस्तान को अपमानित किया है, हिंदुस्तान को बदनाम करने का काम किया है और ये अधिकार आपको हिंदुस्तान की जनता ने नहीं दिया है।
The BJP demanding an apology from Rahul Gandhi. The Congress and the opposition parties, on the other hand, are ensuring that they keep the heat on the government on the issue of the Hindenburg report on the Adani Group and demanding a joint parliamentary committee probe. This is the opposition collectively raising these demands inside Parliament, because of which the House has not been functioning. The second half of the budget session has seen a big limbo there. For 6 days in a row, House has been dysfunctional. And these are things as they stand today. In other top developments from today, Khalistani hate against Indians continues to surge globally. A day after Khalistani thugs went on a rampage in London and San Francisco, vandalizing the Indian High Commission and consulate offices, pulling down the Indian tricolour. A Canadian journalist who went to cover the Indian High Commissioner's visit in Canada, Surrey, was heckled by a pro-Khalistani group, threatened and roughed him up. The journalist claimed that London police, instead of stopping the Khalistani thugs from heckling him, asked the journalist to leave the protest site to avoid any harm.
Yesterday, at approximately 6 o'clock in the evening, there was an event scheduled by Indo-Canadian diaspora to welcome the Indian High Commissioner, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Verma, as after his appointment, this was the first time he was visiting the west coast of Canada. And there were functions in Gurudwara Sahib and in temples. And then with the Indian diaspora, he was scheduled to meet, Indo-Canadian diaspora over there. But one group of pro-Khalistani supporters, they, disturbed all that event. They blocked that event, and they were start protesting over there. When I reached to those protesters, I told them, I want to go in. They refused to let me go in. They were just, very aggressive in the slogans. They were using abusive words in Punjabi language. Then they were using, very derogatory remarks for the Prime Minister of India, and they were tagging us with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi or Amit Shah.
This is a very small, very ultra small section of the Sikh community. The vast majority of Sikhs in this country absolutely reject the Khalistani project and indeed the call for some sort of plebiscite in the Punjab. How that would work, who knows? It's not going to happen, as we know, and indeed we've seen attacks like this when Prime Minister Modi was here previously. We had Khalistanis pulling the flag down in Westminster Square and Parliament Square and burning it. in front of the police. And my message is very simple to the police. When this happens, those people need to be arrested and dealt with properly. It's an affront to India, it's an affront to our friends.
खालिस्तान बड़ा थ्रेट तो नहीं है, लेकिन ये लोग आईएसआई के एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट के तौर पर बन चुके हैं और ये लोग इतने ऐसे हैं कि तुरंत आईएसआई इनको खरीद लेता है या उनको पथभ्रष्ट कर देता है। ये लोग आईएसआई के द्वारा पथभ्रष्ट किए गए लोग हैं और इसी तरह से आईएसआई चाहता है कि भारत को हम परेशान करें और ये कोशिश चलती आ रही है, आज से नहीं चलती आ रही। आप जाइएगा तो इनके जितने भी खालिस्तान के जो नेता वगैरह हैं वो आपको पाकिस्तान में मिल जाएंगे और कुछ लोग तो कनाडा चले गए, विदेश चले गए, वहाँ आपको।
We have some news just coming in. Brazen lawlessness and hooliganism in Surrey as RC MP fails to provide security to the Indian High Commissioner and common people. Friends of India and Canada organized a function today to honour the Indian High Commissioner, Sanjay Verma. The function venue was a Taj Convention Centre. There were reports a day before that Khalistani sympathisers were going to be holding a protest at the event's venue. Authorities were intimated about the possible law and order situation. Today, the organising committee reached the venue around 4 o'clock. The so-called protesters also reached the venue and blocked it from entrance. They did not allow anyone to enter the venue, which was against the law as it was a private event on private premises. There were daylight attacks on people who tried to enter the event premises. Even media people were not spared. Filthy abuses were heard on people who tried to enter. They were assaulted, shoved and slapped, all in the name of peaceful protest. This is, in fact, disappointing news coming in where Khalistanis thugs there going on a complete rampage. Maninder Gill Foundation, Friends of India and Canada joining us. He organized the event which was attacked. This is rather unfortunate. Mr. Gill, give us a sense of what really happened there.
Since yesterday when the event was cancelled, we are getting a threatening calls and WhatsApp messages. Today, we received so many messages, but one message really hurt me. They said, soon we will send you to the Malik. They are talking about Ripduman Singh Malik, they killed him about a few months ago in Surrey, BC. So they said, we will send you soon to close to him, beside him. So, I am worried and I bring to the police attention and, still they are threatening from Canada, Australia, America, worldwide they are giving a number to the other people, they starting threatening even night and day. I am receiving a threatening calls.
What kind of action was taken against all of these people who went on a rampage?
Nothing. Our CMP is not doing anything. It isn't right now. It's a lawlessness country, Canada. It's a heaven for Khalistani people here.
There's been a pattern, Mr. Gill, and these instances of this nature are only increasing by the day, isn't it?
Yes, they are so much because they know there is not a tough law. And, that's why they are killing people every week, they kill each other. They kill a lot of people involved getting drugs. And also, the Gurdwaras, they are making good money from the temples. Every week, $100,000 that they get free money from temples.
Who is sponsoring them? Who is, in fact, funding and supporting all of these people, these Khalistani thugs?
Innocent people, who believe in the gods and they went to the temples and, they pray to God and they, the mathat breaks and they took those money and spent by themselves. Nobody asking them anything.
What really happened after they went on a rampage as far as the event is concerned? At the end of the day, this is Friends of India and Canada, which was a function to honor the Indian High Commissioner there, Sanjay Verma.
I request to the Indian community back home, in Delhi, if the High Commissioner is not safe, the consulate office is not safe, please, call them back. Since government gave you the guarantee, your High Commissioner and consulate office are safe. Even today, they are searching High Commissioners. Where is he? They want to attack on him.
I want to ask you, from the information that's there before us, it does appear that the authorities knew that there could be a possible law and order situation, isn't it? So much more could have been done to prevent this.
In Canada, if you inform to police, we get these tips and, we get this call, they don't do anything until you get attacked.
How do you expect India to take this up with Canada?
We are requesting the Indian government to, raise this issue to the Canadian High Commissioner in Delhi, plus to the Canadian government. The Indian diaspora is very much afraid now. In Canada, the Khalistani goons are threatening to each and every innocent people.
All right, Mr. Maninder Gill, I'm going to thank you for the moment. The organizer of the event where all this ruckus happened, these Khalistani thugs went on a complete rampage, and it appears that the administration in Canada, the police, is absolutely helpless when it comes to developments of this nature, given that there were pre-warnings that were given that there could be a possible law and order situation. What was done? Look at these pictures coming in from Canada, where this event was organized and where the Indian High Commissioner was gheraoed in this fashion. Take a look at what really happened there. Meanwhile, the US has condemned the attack on the Indian consulate in San Francisco on Monday, assuring action against the perpetrators. US State Department spokesperson John Kirby assured proper investigation in this incident, assuring that the broken infrastructure would be fixed by the US government.
Vandalism, it's just absolutely unacceptable. The State Department's Diplomatic Security Service is working with local authorities. I can't speak for the San Francisco police, but I can say that the Diplomatic Security Service is working with local authorities to properly investigate, and obviously the State Department is going to be working from an infrastructure perspective to repair the damage.
Meanwhile, several people from the Sikh community staged protests at the British High Commission in Delhi's Chanakyapuri. This is the diplomatic enclave, against the pulling down of the Indian flag by pro-Khalistani groups at the Indian High Commission in London earlier.
And in that unfortunate incident, and obviously they are saying that UK authorities must take strict action against people.
कोई चीज़ प्राप्ति करनी है तो आप अपने सिस्टम से आइए, ना कि एम्बेसी में जाके उसका निशान साहब इंडिया का जो झंडा है, तिरंगा है, उसको हटाकर अपना लगाने से उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला। संविधान के अंदर हम विश्वास करते हैं, हमारा देश का झंडा है, हम इस देश के झंडे के लिए मर मिट सकते हैं, हम इसको झुका नहीं सकते।
देखिए, वो जो घटना हुई है वो बहुत शर्मनाक है, और सिर्फ सिख, ईसाई, मुसलमान, हिंदू नहीं, तिरंगा मतलब भारत के एक एक व्यक्ति का अपमान, और तिरंगे का मान, तिरंगे का सम्मान सुरक्षित रखने की जिम्मेदारी सरकार की है। अगर दुनिया के किसी भी हिस्से में तिरंगे का अपमान हो रहा है तो ये सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि तिरंगे का सम्मान सुरक्षित करे।
मैं तो इसकी निंदा करता हूँ। मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारा तिरंगा जो शहीद आजम भगत सिंह, करतार सराबा, उधम सिंह, बड़े बड़े देशभक्तों की कुर्बानियों के बाद होंद में आया, उसका अपमान करना है, अच्छी बात नहीं, मैं इसकी निंदा करता हूँ।
Okay, we have some news just coming in. K. Kavita of the BRS is speaking right now. Let's take a listen. K. Kavita, in fact, leaving her residence. In fact, there was high drama there. Remember, yesterday also she was questioned by the ED for over 10 hours, and the investigations essentially continue in this entire matter as far as BARS MLC K. Kavita on your screens right now is concerned. She's been probed by the ED in her alleged connection with the Delhi excise policy scam and the role of the South cartel in all of this. This is the round 3 of grilling by the Enforcement Directorate of K. Kavita. This is the BRS MLC, daughter of Chief Minister Telangana, KCR there, who is going to be questioned by the ED once again. Marathon grilling went on for 10 hours yesterday. She's displaying some tapes, it appears, and we'll try and get a sense of what exactly she's trying to do there. Where supporters have gathered, these are MPs also of the BRS, supporters of K. Kavita are there at her residence, a show of strength and solidarity by members of the BRS right there at K. Kavita's residence in Delhi. High drama, as you can see on your screens right now. K. Kavita has left for the ED office for questioning once again. She was questioned for over 9 hours yesterday. Rahul Gautam is there outside K. Kavita's residence, witnessing all that drama. Rahul, what exactly did she display before getting onto the car and moving on?
Well, at around 8 a.m. this morning, India Today broke this story that while going to Enforcement Directorate, K. Kavita will be, displaying her phones, which ED has been claiming that she had destroyed because they were used allegedly, for conversations with her associates for this larger conspiracy as far as Delhi liquor policy is concerned in order to erase evidences. Therefore, while she was stepping out from her residence here at Tughlaq Road, while going to ED office, she displayed and showed all those phones she was carrying along with them. And what we're learning from our sources now that she'll be handing over these phones to Enforcement Directorate in order to put forward this argument that she has not done anything wrong, pertaining to Delhi liquor policy, and in fact she is not involved at all. Yesterday also she was put to intense questioning for almost 9 hours. This is the third time when she'll be appearing before Enforcement Directorate. She has been pleading that she's a victim of a political witch hunt which is happening at the behest of the BJP because of the fact that BRA is trying to become a fulcrum as far as opposition unity is concerned, and because of the fact that they're emerging as a potential challenger for 2024. Therefore, the agencies are harassing the top leadership of BRS. I've got a couple of people here. What is your contention? Because K. Kavita ji...
Rahul, I'm just going to come back to you in a few moments from now. We'll just try to get a sense of what's happening at the ED office from Shreya. Who's there, Shreya? What can you right now see around you? Just tell us more about day 3 of the grilling now, which is going to start. Shreya, if you can hear me, what's going on at the ED office?
Well, Sneha, K. Kavita has reached the ED office, and you can see on your screens, she's carrying all the mobile phones that she's now showing on the camera. She's carried all these mobile phones in a pouch. Now, remember, there's an allegation that came in from the Enforcement Directorate that at least 10 phones that were being used by K. Kavita during the said period of the scam was allegedly destroyed by her. But today, to make a statement, we see her carrying those phones with her. And before entering the ED office, she showed these phones on to the camera, to the media people. And now she's making her way inside the Enforcement Directorate office, where her questioning will begin for the third time.
Big important day, for K. Kavita. Once again, this is the third day of grilling. Give us a sense of what really happened, Shreya, in the last 10 hours or so almost, where she was grilled yesterday by the ED.
Well, we saw that yesterday it was a long day of questioning by the Enforcement Directorate when K. Kavita was concerned, and now she's also been summoned yet again. You can see the visuals that she's making way, emotional moment. She's hugging her family members as she moves inside the Enforcement Directorate office. Now, yesterday it was a long hour of questioning for K. Kavita. More than 10 hours she was questioned inside the Enforcement Directorate office, and we do know that today yet again she's been called in by the Enforcement Directorate. In all likelihood, the ED also could have asked to get the evidence that the mobile phones concerned, which we saw K. Kavita flashing on our camera, and now she's moved inside ED, Sneha.
Also, what is expected today, given that this is what she's trying to show, indicate, the message that she's trying to send out really is that the allegation was that I destroyed these phones, but I haven't really.
Well, absolutely. She's trying to somewhere down the line come clean. She's trying to send that message that she really has nothing to do, and the allegations against her are baseless. Because remember that somewhere down the line the pretext that K. Kavita and as an also opposition party leader, she's trying to send out a message that this is nothing the vendetta politics. And before moving inside ED, we saw her flashing those phones, because obviously she's trying to plead guilty. She's trying to plead that she's not guilty, and as she heads in the ED office, it is clear that these evidence now she will be also putting forward before the ED office. But definitely what the ED and the agency has to say that the details and the documents from all these devices were formatted. The documents were not there. So somewhere down the line, it's also depending on the agency. Well, the agency will buy this alibi or not, because there are huge allegations against K. Kavita for actually being a key player in that South Cartel formation, and also for giving those kickbacks to the tune of 100 crore to the Aam Aadmi Party leaders as funds ahead, because of which they also got undue advantages to at least 3 major distributors linked to the South Cartel.
As far as the questioning is concerned, any possibility of her once again being brought face to face with the other accused today, Shreya, as far as the third round of questioning is concerned?
Well, for one thing for sure, Sneha, what we know that she was actually confronted with all the statements of the co-accused in this case when it comes to those involved in the South Cartel, which includes the statements of Arun Pillai. He was one of the key players of the South Cartel. She's already been confronted with the statements of Arun Pillai, but as we know that yesterday Arun Pillai was sent for judicial custody, so a cross-questioning physically is something that is not going to happen today, at least when it comes to Arun Pillai. Apart from that, if any other accused she will face, we'll have to wait and watch some more time, because there's no other summon that we know from this group who has been called in. But yesterday, Sneha, Amit Arora, he's also one of those accused in the liquor policy scam. So he was also called in by the Enforcement Directorate. So what we do see that there are questioning simultaneously taking place when it is about investigating this case is concerned, and definitely the ED is robustly looking into the entire money trail as they unearth this scam. But we'll have to wait and watch that what K. Kavita has to say. But definitely one thing is clear from her body language, that she's going defensive to try and say that she has no role to play in what is being alleged by the agency, and especially by showing those mobile phones, she's trying to make a point that she has not done anything that the agency is actually claiming against her.
She's also, legally speaking, tried to make an attempt to skip these, physical interrogations by the Enforcement Directorate, seeking relief from the court the last time around, but did not get any relief from the court, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. First and foremost, that matter is yet to be heard on the 24th of March, but the Supreme Court did not really stay any summon that the ED would have given in the course of time. It's also important to point out that when we talk about the procedural approach of these investigations, the Enforcement Directorate's bounding is under the PMLA. It doesn't really purview fall to the CRPC. So that's something that we will be seeing the court obviously going into the detail. But once she skipped the summons, saying that she was not there were rules that were not followed. As a woman, she should have been interrogated inside her house. The ED should have gone there. But obviously, from the second and the third time we saw, she's come out and she's attended the questioning, and it will be clearer towards the course of day that what transpires. But definitely, even today, Sneha, it is going to be a long day ahead for K. Kavita.
Long day ahead for K. Kavita. Third time around, she is being in fact presented before the Enforcement Directorate, as you can see, in fact, in these pictures, tried to get relief earlier. Today displayed those phones, saying that this is nothing, Shreya, but political vendetta, something that the BRS continues to maintain, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. From day one, we've been seeing that the BRS is saying that this is nothing but vendetta politics, the kind of stage that the BRS, especially K. Kavita, has set before she's gone inside in questioning. That's also something that's nothing less than a political messaging. We saw her do a protest in Jantar Mantar. We saw her do the round table with like-minded opposition leaders. So somewhere down the line, there's also an opportunity that's being used, an optics that's being used to actually send out a message of opposition unity. We are seeing these days that respective opposition parties are trying to form multiple opposition fronts and send out these messages. So somewhere down the line, as we talk about the agency's actions against political leaders, the political leaders are also simultaneously using these opportunities to send out a message that this is vendetta politics being used by the centre as they use agencies as a tool. Nothing new, but definitely on the other side, we see the agencies continuing their crackdown. Even if we talk about these political messaging, it is not going to be easy for K. Kavita because there's evidence at hand, allegedly. So far as ED is concerned, they have chats at hand, they have CCTV footage of the meetings, they have money trails. So there is a lot of answering that K. Kavita and the entire South Cartel group has to do. CBI has already investigated. It's now ED's turn to continue this investigation.
All right, to continue the investigation, this is the third day of drilling. Shreya is at the ED office getting us all of those details. Rahul Gautam continues to be at K. Kavita's house. She's left her house a while ago. What really is expected is the big question here, given that the ED continues to keep its heat on K. Kavita. Some information from the ED, at least through our sources, suggested that K. Kavita had destroyed the phones, that she had changed. This was a big claim by the ED, at least from our sources. K. Kavita says there is nothing like that happened. What she did was that she displayed her phones in those pictures that you see on your screen right now on the extreme right side, where she is trying to suggest that look at what the ED is doing. These are charges that there are falsely leveling against me. These are phones that are intact, and that's the reason why this display before the media, the body language there, Shreya continues to be very confident in spite of the fact that her so-called aides, including her chartered accountant, have already been questioned by the ED. Okay, so after destroying phones charged, these are the phones, is what K. Kavita has said. Clearly appears to be very confident as far as the questioning by the ED and the allegations by the ED is concerned. Third day of questioning for K. Kavita by the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, K. Kavita is now headed to the ED office, and yesterday, remember, she was grilled for over 10 hours by the Enforcement Directorate. What is the allegation against K. Kavita? That she is in fact the one who is the mastermind of the South Cartel in the Delhi excise policy scam. That's what sources within the ED are indicating. With that, it's time for a quick commercial break here that continues to be a top focus story, getting you much more in just 2 minutes.
You are watching India Today.
Today television. I have with me HMSI's MD, President and CEO, Mr. Ogata. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So last time we spoke, you were actually really excited about this launch, the entry-level segment. Now, what are your expectations and how will it sort of be able to compete in a market which you know is sort of dominated by Hero?
Yeah, so thank you for your question. We are proud to announce this model today. And yes, now the rural market still the biggest volume among the total industry of motorcycle. But of course, last 3 years, also the one of the reason is COVID pandemic negative impact still there. But still, market potential, we have confidence in the future for the 3 years. After we launched this model, so many customers has take another option in front of, because now almost dominated by our competitors. So now they can take another decision making by themselves. So we have confidence gradually, because after getting awareness, growth of this model Shine 100cc in rural market through our dealer network, it's getting bigger demand will become. Then we are ready to supply enough supply in front of consumers who are waiting our new product. Yeah.
So there was another product in the rural market which I believe was Levo. And what are some of the learnings from that product which you think that this time you will get it right?
Yeah, so far we have planned to new Levo, they comply with the OBD2 norm sooner or later in the market, was CD110, still existing in the market. So the compete with different segment, because looks like same, but price range and model specification is completely different. So we can create the new demand in such kind of rural market beside it, Levo or CD 110. The next financial year, surely. Yeah.
Will sales and network expansion be a challenge for you going forward?
Do you mean the touch point?
Yeah, rural touch point.
Rural touch point. Yes, the some of area, because of such kind of a product, it's tough to create the touch point in several areas, especially central or north region. But now start to discuss the main dealers to set up new touch point after launching this model as soon as possible. So therefore, next financial year, surely the rapidly increase of our touch point in such kind of rural area inside of central, especially and the north region.
Yeah. Last time we met, you also talked about the premium segment and how you sort of, you know that globally you have great products, but in India you sort of need that penetration. So what will it take to reach that level of growth even in the Indian market?
Premium segment, you mean the 300cc segment? Yeah, we launched it Highness and the CB350 LS, and recently we expanded the customized version, to utilize the existing platform.
are watching India Today.
Some breaking news coming in. Let's go straight to that. These are dramatic protests inside Parliament after hangama inside the House. These are visuals on your screen of MPs, in fact, protesting inside Parliament. Congress MPs along with other opposition MPs are demanding a joint parliamentary committee probe. These are the corridors of Parliament in which these protests have broken out. Scenes I don't think witnessed ever before. Inside Parliament, at the corridors there, leading up to various offices inside the Parliament building that houses dozens and dozens of offices. These are protests placards being held by members of the opposition. These are members of parliament from various opposition parties holding these dramatic protests inside parliament at the corridors. We want JPC. That's the banner that has been put out by members of parliament. In these pictures, in fact, MPs of the Congress can be seen, and several other MPs of the opposition parties also can be seen. Mallikarjun Kharge, Adhiranjan Chaudhary, along with other top leaders of the Congress party and other members of parliament. This is being put out by the Congress party. These are visuals, in fact, coming in from parliament. Dramatic visuals that are coming in from parliament. These are corridors in which protests have broken out. This is an unprecedented situation where protests have broken out at the corridors there of parliament, with opposition up in arms, holding down a placard, also a big banner, essentially, not really a placard, a big banner saying that we demand a joint parliamentary committee probe on the Hindenburg report on Adani. Unprecedented pictures coming in from parliament right now. Staying with these visuals of the opposition holding these protests against the BJP, demanding a joint parliamentary party probe on this entire matter. The question really is on whether the government is going to relent or not. Given the situation right now, the BJP has its own set of demands as well, asking Mr. Rahul Gandhi to apologize, indicating or rather alleging that he has undermined democracy by being critical of Indian democracy outside India, abroad. Some news coming in. Kannada actor Chetan Kumar Ahimsa arrested after he put out a controversial tweet slamming Hindutva. Chetan tweeted claiming Hindutva has been built on lies and truth can be defeated by Hindutva. The actor in question, Chetan Kumar, has been arrested. It's an arrest of an actor over a controversial tweet that he put out. This is Kannada actor Chetan, who's been held after he put out a tweet saying that Hindutva has been built on lies. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is getting us more details on that story. Chetan Kumar in the past also has in fact made several statements. Also, he spoke about the fact that Bhuta Kolar was not part of the Hindu culture. He's being largely seen as an atheist there. This time around, he's been arrested for that controversial tweet.
Yeah, that is true. In fact, what we are picking from the police is that Bangalore Police Central Division has arrested Chetan last night itself. This is from the Kannada industry. The actor is from Kannada industry. He's acted in several movies as the hero. Chetan had tweeted that Hindutva is built on lies. Savarkar Indian nation began when Rama defeated Ravana and returned to Ayodhya is a lie. 1992, Babri Masjid is the birthplace of Rama. That is a lie. 2023, Urigowda and Anjegowda are killers of Tipu. That's a lie. Hindutva can be defeated by truth. Truth is equality is what Chetan had tweeted. A lot of Bajrang Dal members and also right-wing activists had filed a complaint with Central Division of Bangalore Police saying that he's hurting sentiments of Hindus because he has called Hindutva a lie. And hence the arrest has happened. This is not the first time that he's been arrested for such tweets and his statements. Earlier also, regarding statements on Brahminism, he was arrested and then he was out on bail. And this is a fresh FIR. Chetan has been taken into custody. He'll be produced before the magistrate. Most likely he will be sent to judicial custody till his bail is approved.
Judicial custody. And this is something that he's done in the past as well. Does he have any other legal option really open before him, Naga?
It is unlikely, apart other than being given bail at this point of time. The procedure is that the state will also have to file objections. So Last night he was arrested. This morning medicals were done. He will be produced before the court around 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock is what we are told. Most likely he will be sent to judicial custody because the state has to still file objections when the bail petition comes up. So it will at least take 5 to 6 days for Chetan to get released is what we are told. But state is going to argue that this is not one such incident. He was already arrested before this also for communally provocative statements, and this is the second time it is happening. So they will in all way object that he is a habitual offender and not to grant bail.
Habitual offender there, not to grant him relief. In the past also he made certain statements after Kantara was released on Bhutakola saying that this is not a part of the Hindu culture, Naga, but this was essentially a part of the culture of Adivasis where there was no Brahminism, isn't it?
That is true. If you remember during the Kantara movie when it was a super hit, he also had put out that Bhutakola is not a part of the culture. Don't make it contemporary to Hindutva. Hindutva is not a Bhutakola. He had questioned certain practices, and the whole coastal Karnataka had taken offense back then, including the actors, saying that why is Chetan one of us who's also making provocative statements against our culture, especially Bhutakola. We have seen how the coastal Karnataka people follow these Bhutas or the demigods or the gods during the festivals. And Chetan had put out a statement that now the actors are trying, the Kantara actors are trying to replicate Bhutakola into Hindutva. And that was not taken quite well with the film industry as well. So he's not gaining support even in the industry because of his statement. But when you speak to Chetan, he's of an opinion that I'm here to speak truth, I'm here to speak for equality. Brahminism and Hinduism does not provide equal opportunity to everyone. Dalits or oppressed is what time and again Chetan has been saying. But today, when he has spoken on Twitter saying that Hindutva is a big lie, that is the only lie that people talk about Hindutva. It can't be truth. So people have taken offense of it and have filed a formal complaint in Central Division, Bengaluru, and the police swung into action saying before the protest will erupt by the right-wing organization, they had to act immediately and arrested him.
Big story we're getting at this hour. Chetan has been held for his comments on Hindutva built on lies. He's largely been seen as an atheist. In the past has made some controversial comments as well, which were frowned upon. Now, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us those details. It brings us to the end of this edition. You can catch that story and much more on our website as well. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. News continues with me on the other side.
You are watching India Today.
Domestic abuse. The thought of it sends shiver down the spine. Think of the plight of women who go through this stigma and the social complexities involved, making just so many people brush this domestic violence under the carpet. But it has an impact. A far-reaching one on how the victim and the impact on her daily life. How she looks at relationships and how it plays out vis-a-vis her physical and mental health. Adults who have been the victims of domestic violence are much more prone than general population to experience mental health disorders regardless of their nature. Women with their mental health diagnosis were also found to have been more likely to have suffered from domestic violence than women with no mental health diagnosis. Such diagnoses were eating disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and other mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The actual rate of domestic violence and sexual assault is unknown because many experiencing it are afraid to even disclose or report it. Abuse does not need to have a multiple occurrence or be carried out over years to be considered domestic violence. Even one episode can have serious impact and should not be overlooked. Domestic violence includes any of the following: physical violence, hitting, kicking, slapping, or other types of physical force intended to hurt the partner. Sexual violence, forced or attempted forcing of a partner to engage in sexual actions when the partner does not consent or is not capable of consent. Psychological aggression, verbal and non-verbal communication to erode a person's self-worth, harm the partner mentally or emotionally, or exert control or power over the partner. Stalking, repeated unwanted attention and or contact that triggers fear or worry about the partner's safety or the safety of others that are close to the victim. Stalking means the communication is not consensual and may include verbal, written, or implied threat. Controlling behavior are harmful to relationship and may point to more severe domestic abuse. Controlling behaviors